it's the weekend, and what happens on the weekend is we get two chances, the Dayton Daily News. And they had some commentary.
Commentary.
The opinion on Saturday was Ohio rebound depends on cities. And I'll read it. School districts are not the only thing Ohio has in spades. It also has some 3,800 local government units.
That's too many.
Including 250 cities, 695 villages, 1,308 townships. The result is that total local government payroll in Ohio is 10% above the national average and 17.5% above the peer state average, according to Brookings. Brookings, which is
Brookings think tank.
Well, they're a tank, but not much thinking. But they're a conservative think tank.
Yeah, but regardless, I mean, honestly, you think about the fact that we've got 250 mayors, 695 village idiots, and 1,300 township administrators.
Well, that's right. You have to look back and why did this occur? Why did we do it? And why are we still doing it? Because it makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense at all. But we're stuck with laws and regulations that were set up in the 1800s.
Well, my contention is it's a response a lot to industrialization and racism. If you look, a lot of places that maintain holistic, like Indianapolis and really kind of Columbus to a degree, didn't have the industry at the same time as the historic black movement.
But it's also based on the flawed idea of paying for things with property taxes.
Well, it's also based on a flawed idea that we can escape the other, and part of me says we escape the other, and we set up little fiefdoms, and we don't get along because we think. I don't know what we think. We think
the people in Centerville think they're better than the people in Dayton.
And they are.
They are?
Aren't they?
Well, sure they are.
They've proven it.
Yeah.
Because they have a little fiefdom out there.
Yep.
So, now, how did we get to that point? I think is a response of industry. And we need to just get over it. We need to get it done because we have far too much overhead. And finally...
And this is what the conservatives are always complaining about. It costs too much to... to run a business in Ohio, and so people don't. Well, here's proof. Yes, we pay for too much government.
And we probably pay for inefficient government. Speaking of that, we'll lead into Sunday. Speaking of inefficient government. Deborah Feldman, who's been around forever and has handed out largesse
Well, she has other people do it for her.
Oh, those are the ones that made the mistake.
Yes,
not poor little overworked Deborah Feldman.
No, you don't see her out at the forefront of anything. I mean,
there's a reason for that.
Yes,
so she can hide behind that. She has
Joe Tuss, the pretty boy, to stand there and say, "Oh yes, we need to build an ice rink at Austin Road, and we're going to hike the hotel tax. Oh, we couldn't pass it fast enough behind your back, so..." And let's cut a deal so I can hand out more of a slush fund in the health department by going ahead and trying to get... She basically pays off Trammell, so he'll support... Trammell. Raleigh trampled on the name of Martin Luther King, and Deborah Feldman helped happen. The word was, no more pimping on the name of Dr. King. That was classic. But, poor little Deborah Feldman. It's amazing. Just recently, let's look at the sheriff's office, right? We got the sheriff's office. We got the appraisers with their raise that nobody knows about. She's doing all a woman can do. Hold on. You got that. No big deal. It's the sheriff's fault. Then you get the Raleigh-Trammell thing. Oh, no problem. That's the health department's fault. And, we can blame. And Feldman's coming out to take the hit right now because she doesn't want the commissioners to take the hit because if we get a lot of changeover in commissioners, somebody might actually look up her skirt and figure out what's been going on. And that's what Ellen Belcher's trying to prevent. Well, Ellen's protecting her friends. And that's what Ellen's very good at. They all got skirts and nothing's better for Dayton because of it. Wait a second. Dan Foley's up for election. Last I checked, he doesn't wear a skirt. Well, the other two are... We always need a token. But I posted a comment on there. I said, let's look at, the auditor's office. Let's look at the, on through these things. But then I also mentioned, they only want the bright light shined on one little spot. Hold on. Nothing else. Let's look back to the Riverscape deal where some investors bought the Sears building for $200,000 with a $1.5 million option on the property underneath. And then this
county said, "Oh, we want to put a fountain on that little corner there," and they said, "Fine, it's $3 million."
I thought they sold it for $8 million.
Well, that's what they ended up selling it for because those investors wouldn't take $3 million, and the city and the county said, "Oh, we'll do eminent domain." They said, like the investor said, like hell you will, and so it ended up skyrocketing up to $8.7 million. It was passed as an emergency ordinance by the city of Dayton to buy it.
Wait a second, who got the land? Who had the land?
Who had the land? Well, there's this guy
named... A commercial laundryman in town?
A guy named Deborah Feldman and his son Bruce Feldman, who happens to be married to the county administrator, Deborah Feldman, but we never heard anything about that at all.
Well, you don't want to hear anything about that because Belcher knows that probably, well, why wouldn't you repeat that success?
Belcher knows something?
Why wouldn't you repeat that success down at Austin Road?
Oh, yes.
Why wouldn't you? Because you couldn't tell what an LLC was.
No.
But Belcher's outfit is going to benefit from Austin Road, right?
Well, I mean, the Dayton Daily News might benefit
the
a bit.
Franklin County News.
But that's even immaterial at this point. I mean, that little shenanigans back when they all of a sudden started talking about building the ice arena down there and they were going to hike the hotel-motel tax. I mean, what? There's no accountability. There's no going back and saying, excuse me, you're wrong. Even if they didn't do it.
They had to eradicate Mr. Trammell to pay off somebody. And they want to stop everything else.
When you start seeing people make apologies for people who aren't on the hot seat yet, that's the operative.
That's called Freudian.
Yes. So
Sigmund Freud, you know him.
It's not always in what you read.
It's what you don't read.
That's why we're here.
That is why we're here. But what are we? Part of the solution or part of the problem?
I don't know. Say goodbye, Greg.
Bye.